To a Fox News alert right now, President Donald Trump is heading back to the United States after wrapping up his historic trip to the Middle East.
And the commander-in-chief breaking some news while flying home on board Air Force One, revealing the U.S. has given Iran a proposal for a nuclear deal.
Okay, here we go. Lucas Tomlinson joins us from Abu Dhabi with the latest. Lucas, what do we know about the deal?
Well, Lawrence, that's right. President Trump making news aboard Air Force One, departing the United Arab Emirates moments ago, concluding his three-nation swing here in the Middle East. The president is confirming that the U.S. has given Iran a proposal for a nuclear deal. We still don't know the details of that, but here's the quote from the president moments ago. He said, "They have a proposal," speaking about Iran, but more importantly, they know they have to move quickly or something bad is going to happen. And part of that bad going to happen is right here in the United Arab Emirates, where the United States keeps some of its fast movers, F-15s, F-16s. But let's talk about the good news this trip. Commerce, not conflict. That's been the president's theme, and we have the receipts right here. Saudi Arabia, first stop on this trip, pledging over $600 billion in U.S. investment. Qatar is pledging $243.5 billion, as well as that 747 and freeing Edan Alexander. And right here in Abu Dhabi, the UAE capital, the Emiratis are pledging $200 billion in commercial deals. And they also said that's going to go to $1.4 trillion over the next decade. And let's not forget the captains of industry, the business leaders that have come here to the Middle East. They didn't have to. And last night, UAE's foreign minister sat down with their own Brett Baer about what the president's visit meant to his country.
We've been investing in the United States for decades, but now we're taking it one step further, not only in terms of size, but in terms of trust, and we're grateful for President Trump for that.
After arriving yesterday in the UAE capital, Trump touring the Grand Mosque with his shoes on, the president of UAE closing the mosque for the first time ever, guys. Now, there are other international issues looming. Of course, it's Iran. Last night on Hannity, Secretary of State Marco Rubio talked to Sean about Iran, not far from where I'm standing, about a potential deal of its nuclear program.
He says this offer won't be around forever. And what he means by that is at some point, decisions will have to be made about more maximum pressure and other options, because Iran can never have a nuclear weapon.
So it's really Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirming to Sean Hannity that that offer had been proposed, saying this offer won't be around forever. Now, here's the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, lit up in the stars and stripes, a symbol of unity and solidarity. One more image, Trump earlier today visiting the Abrahamic House that's home to a church, synagogue, and mosque, which speaks to the tolerance of this country, including co-ed gyms here at the hotel. A different story, though, across the Persian Gulf in Iran. Here's President Trump earlier from UAE.
$5 billion trade surplus for the U.S. last year, making us the third largest in the world. And I should have left yesterday, but I couldn't disappoint you. Your father would have been extremely upset with me, and you would have been more upset.
He would have understood, sir.
We had such a beautiful evening, and they planned it so beautifully. I said, I'm going to have to wait just a little bit. But the way we were treated by your family, the way we were treated by Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and others has just been so I'm very proud to be representing the United States of America. And thank you all for being here. And media, thank you very much. You've been very fair. Thank you very much.
So the president there talking about the full diplomatic and military honors he's received, not only here in the United Arab Emirates, but also in Saudi Arabia and in Qatar. We remember the F-15s escorting Air Force One, not only to Saudi Arabia, but again to Qatar, and then respectively from their countries here, United Arab Emirates. And we just saw fighter jets escorting Air Force One out of the UAE, but full diplomatic and military honors, full pomp and circumstance wherever the president goes, bestowing honors, that very rare honors that these leaders could muster and have ever given out. And no question, the success, the business success, commerce, not conflict, that's been the theme of this trip as the president wraps up his first official overseas trip since beginning his second term here, not only to the United Arab Emirates, but also Saudi Arabia and Qatar, guys.
It's incredible. What a great trip. Thank you so much, Lucas. You get to come home soon. Look at this. This is the cover of the New York Post this morning. It says, shake it up. And in this little box, it says, President Trump announced nearly $2 trillion in deals with Mideast countries, lifted sanctions on Syria, pushed for a new Iran deal, an onslaught that left some former Biden officials jealous. Quote, it's amazing what can be accomplished when the president isn't brain dead, one said.
And the breakdown is just extensive. When you look at $200 billion plus in commercial deals between the U.S. and the UAE. Then you got $243 billion in economic deals between the U.S. and Qatar. And then you got $600 billion committed from Saudi Arabia to invest in the United States. And one thing that they're doing differently that they did the last time is they're making sure it's happening in the 4-year period. The president is aware of what happened the last time, where he got out of office and then people didn't keep their commitments. He's trying to get the ink there dry and say, hey, you got to do this timely and very quickly.
And Brian, look at that. That's what he accomplished in a matter of a few days. That's jobs. When I see that, I see all these deals. Those are jobs here in America.
Right. And they are going to build. They're looking to get a lot of power because they want to develop AI. And with them, they had the who's who of AI executives with them, from Elon Musk to Sam Altman, really conducted by David Sachs, who's well connected in the area. And they have a lot of defense contracts. I thought it was fascinating in Saudi Arabia. They're going to spend, they want $600 billion worth of defense, and they're spending the contracts across various companies to make sure they get it. So I just wonder if that helps Secretary Hegsted's budget. So if he's trying to get $1 trillion, okay, but if he's selling a lot of it, shouldn't those profits go to, I don't know, maybe allowing them to work it against the invoices,
right.
You know, in order to get that $1 trillion, you sell off, you could make a profit from this at the same time. We build up our defense. Meanwhile, Marco Rubio is making it clear, I want all our allies to start spending 5%, including 5% of their budget on military spending.
Smart
so he
move.
wants our allies to step up. He wants our tech center to step up. And they want additional power in the region. At the same time, the other big story is what's happening with Iran and the nuclear negotiations.
You're right. You're right.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.